Let's talk crochet. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is my channel, Slow Crochet. This is episode 037. This is going to be a little bit of a short one today, but I did want to jump on here real quick and bring you just 2 little finished items that I finished this week. There are some works in progress, but I will have to save those for another time. So quickly, briefly, I have 2 things I wanted to show off. Number 1, I was able this week to finish my Granny Stripes hat, and that is a pattern by Yarnspirations. Believe it or not, this simple thing had me pulling it out 3 or 4 times before I got it to a place that I really liked it. Here it is, and it is made using 2 different colors of Chic Sheep by Red Heart and Marley Bird. So it is merino wool, 100% merino wool. This color is Poolside and the red is, I believe, Sunset. So why did I have to pull this out so many times? Well, first of all, I wanted to get the right size hook. Second of all, when I first started making it, I didn't like the big gaps that it had because the pattern itself called for clusters of 3 at a time. And for my granny squares, I like to make them a little thicker. I like to do 4 at a time. But by doing that, I was throwing off the counts all over the place, and the hat was becoming enormous. So I ended up having to go back up to the very beginning at the crown of the hat, and I figured out to do 5 clusters to begin with, and then I went on from there. After that, it was smooth sailing, but it did take me a bunch of tries, so I'm proud of this hat that it's done, and I love how it turned out in the end. The other project is one that I used with a yarn that had been stumping me. This one is Mojito Merino by Plymouth Yarns, and it is the color Cobalt. I'd picked this up at a yarn store pretty far away, and I had attempted to do a beret with it, but the nubby, bumpy texture of it just wasn't working for me. So I decided to try something that was a really simple stitch, and something that would also be practical and make that one ball of yarn go pretty far. What I ended up doing was pairing it with a very straightforward, standard workhorse kind of yarn, which is Lion Brand Wool Ease in the color Cranberry. And this is what I came up with. So this is the Moss Stitch Cowl, and it's by Heidi Gustad. And again, I didn't follow her pattern exactly. I believe her pattern called for maybe a lighter weight yarn. It's a very basic kind of design, but I thought the effect was really beautiful. It's just a moss stitch in the round where you are alternating colors all the way up to the top. And I thought, as it gets chillier, for the days that I'm not going to want a bulky scarf, this would be something really beautiful. And I love how nicely that cranberry and cobalt play together. They're kind of those beautiful jewel tones, and I think it'll go really well in my wardrobe. So that's all I have for you today. I told you it was going to be a little bit of a short one, but I do appreciate you hanging out with me all this time. If you're new here, all of that YouTube-y stuff, like, share, comment, subscribe, that's all super encouraging. Not necessary, but I love hanging out with y'all in the comments. If I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I do appreciate it, and I do hope I'll see you again soon. Bye!